Hey, call me Shape, and today we're reacting to a video titled, Why Are Older Men Staying Single? Before we get into the video, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Channel's blowing up. Help us get to 5,000 subs. Get right into the content.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been getting a lot of emails from guys who talking about relationships, especially men back in America, my home country. And they're saying, Mark, you know, I'm sure it's all nice and everything over there and the Filipinas look like really sweet girls, but you know what? I'm fine being single. I don't want to be in any more relationships. I'm settled in my life and I've given up on the whole idea of dating or going out with anybody. And there's different reasons behind that. I mean, some of them went through very painful divorces where they lost, you know, their house and big part of their pension, and it just left a big bad taste in their mouth, the whole idea of marriage and a relationship. And then also, depending on where you live, if you live in like a small town in Indiana, there just might not be much of a selection. You know, there's just, you know, no women that these guys are attracted to, or they're attracted to women that are outside of their scope of, you know, possibilities, you know, women that wouldn't be interested in them anyways. And so they go, you know, to Walmart and they see these women that are their age that are 40, 50 pounds overweight, and they're wearing sweatpants and they got tattoos, and they just like say, you know, forget about it. I'd be happier just being alone by myself. And also, you know, sometimes they find women, you know, in general kind of intimidating, especially American women, because they can be a bit aggressive and kind of to the point. They're kind of blunt when it comes out to things, you know, saying what they feel. And, you know, guys, you know, we're not, you know, wilting flowers or anything, but we know we've got feelings too. And when a woman comes out and says something negative about you, you know, or insults you, or, you know, is very opinionated, it can turn a guy off, you know, really quick. And then, of course, you know, there's the old thing, you know, the baggage that these women have. Like if you're dating women within your age range, say, you know, I'm talking men 50 and up, they've got kids usually, teenagers, and the teenagers don't want nothing to do with you. And if, let's say, you ended up living together in the same household, you know, these kids aren't going to listen to you. They're going to do whatever they want unless they want money from you. And, you know, that can be kind of, you know, a weird situation, having these, you know, soon-to-be adult kids, you know, underfoot and basically kind of looking at you like, who the hell are you in our house? And we don't do it that way and all that stuff. And then a lot of these women have a lot of debt too. They got credit card debt, they got car loans, you know, and you don't find that out until you're deep into the relationship. And another thing is just, you know, low sex drive. A lot of these guys just, you know, they've lost interest in sex. You know, when you're old, when you're younger, you're in your 20s, 30s even, you know, that's all you can think about is, you know, sex is on your mind all the time. Plus it's being thrown in your face on TV and movies and advertising. But once you get to be a certain age, you know, it just doesn't mean that much to you. It's nice, you know, and some guys enjoy it, but they say, you know, I don't really need it, especially if it was someone who you're really not that attracted to anyway.
I just find this funny because it's like, damn, who the hell is happy in the dating market these days? Like, no one's happy, right? I'm 36 years old, and I find, you know, dating to be a nightmare at times, and I do very well with women, honestly. But to look at to see what 50-year-old men are saying is like, damn, like no one's happy. And I get it. He's saying that, you know, what's in it for us, because you don't even want sex. You're not that attracted to the girl. Their kids resent you. They got a bunch of debt. Yikes, man. Wow. I don't know what's going to happen, man. It looks like if you want to be with someone in the future, especially if you're past 40 and 50 years old, you could be together, but you're going to have to live apart. It just seems like you can't live together at all, for sure.
And so that's part of it. Now that can be fixed with TRT injections. And a lot of guys I know, myself included, have done that, and it does make a difference. And then, of course, you know, guys just say, you know, I'm happy to just stay home and watch TV. I was married for 25 or 30 years, and I was miserable. And now I can just sit home, watch TV, watch the shows I want, go to bed when I want, take a nap when I want, and do what I want to do. And I'm totally content, and I don't need anybody in my life. And that's fine. If you don't think you need anybody, you don't need anybody. And they'll say, you know, my dog is all the companionship I need. Another reason is like poor health. A lot of these guys that let their health, slip, when they're not in a relationship, they're not married, they're not looking, they're not going to the gym, they're not taking care of themselves, they're kind of eating what they want, putting on weight. Some of them have diabetes, a lot of them are overweight. And so, for these reasons, they just aren't healthy enough to even have an active, sex life or dating life or social life, even because they're kind of stuck at home. And then another thing is like, especially if they haven't dated in 25 or 30 years, they just have low self-esteem, no confidence at all. They have no confidence when it comes to a woman or approaching somebody. They may know somebody that at work or somebody at a club that they go to, and she's been friendly to them, but they just don't really know how to approach her and what to say to take it to the next step, whether that's going out or whatever it is. They just don't know what to do. And when they find themselves alone with someone or in a conversation where it's just the two of them, say they're at a party or a bar or whatever, and it's just the two of them, and he's got to carry on a conversation, it's like they don't know what to say,
That I find that so interesting. Like, you're 50 years old, let's say you're 50 years old, you've been married, and you're having the exact same problem as, let's say, a 20-year-old, in the sense of, you're struggling with women, right? They don't respect you. You don't know what to say to them. You don't know what to talk to them about. You don't. What the hell's going on? I don't know what to say about it. Let's see what some of the comments are saying. I think the comments should be interesting. Todd comments says, great video. I'm 66 and I'm recently a widower. I was married for 46 years to a wonderful woman. We grew up together during our marriage. The loneliness is devastating. I'm continuing to work part-time just to stay in the social scene. Plus, Social Security doesn't cover my bills. Yikes! Yeah, I mean, loneliness is something that I'm gonna worry about. 24 years. I've been single. Now I'm 63, and I'm living in peace. There's nothing like peace. Yeah. This is the thing I would think most men are saying, right? That they're happy to be at peace finally. Another guy says, every morning I wake up in bed alone, I think things could be worse. I could be married. Oh, man. Another guy said, a comment I read once somewhere else and stuck with me was, it's better to come home to an empty house than to come home to someone you wish you wasn't there. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I watched my dad go through this before he got divorced during his marriage to my stepmom. And apparently, after work, home was the last place he wanted to come. Like, imagine that, right? And if this is what dating and marriage and relationships are like north of 50, it makes you really wonder what to do at my age, right? If you're in your 30s and you don't have kids and you're unmarried, it's almost as if everyone's going to be living individual lives anywhere, right? There's no such thing as families anymore. Everyone's from broken families, everyone's from broken marriages, everybody's divorced, and there's kind of no reason, it seems, right? There's no incentive to be with someone long term because you're not going to have sex. It seems like what they're saying, no sex happening. You're not happy with them. You're miserable with them. It makes you wonder, are people really designed to be married long term? Are we supposed to be in a long-term monogamous relationship?
They start talking about their truck or hunting or, a job that they used to have 20 years ago, and they just bore the hell out of her. And so they lose her that way too. And so a lot of these guys are just, they're just plain rusty when it comes to social interaction. And that can be fixed too. You can always, get back on the horse and start talking to people. And eventually, you'll get used to interacting with women and things will get better. But, social anxiety is a big part of it, that when they just lose their confidence, and it's not just with women, it's with men too. They just aren't comfortable talking to strangers anymore. They kind of keep within themselves, withdraw into themselves. They have no confidence in who they are, especially if they're not working anymore. and their whole identity was their job, and they don't have a job anymore. They don't have a career. They may have money, but they just don't have any identity. And because of that, they just don't know how to interact with other people. And so some of these guys, they do end up coming here those guys come for financial reasons. That's kind of like why I came here, financial reasons. I never thought I'd ever date again. Wasn't even on my mind. I was here to survive. And I meet guys all the time that came over here, same as me, and they're doing it for financial reasons. They can have a little bit nicer house here, a nicer apartment, and they can afford a little better lifestyle in the Philippines. And plus they're bored back home anyway. So they come over here and it all works out for them. And, they start settling in and they make a few friends. And then they realize that all these other guys that are the same age as them, and some of them, are not as attractive as they are, and not as in good a shape as they are, and don't have the financial means that even they have. But they've got these, lovely wives and girlfriends. And so they start thinking, well, gee, if John over there can have that nice girlfriend and he's happy and everything, maybe I could do that too. And they start changing their mindset. They start thinking, well, maybe it is a possibility. That's kind of what happened to me. I'd given up on it totally. I was just trying to survive. And then once I was able to survive here and I was making enough money to, pay my rent, pay my bills, and have a little bit left over to actually go out with a couple friends and, have a couple drinks and go to a party every once in a while and meet some new people. And then slowly I decided to go on a couple of dates, and one thing led to another. Now I'm happily married with a baby. The farthest thing.
What? Hey, yo. This dude started a whole nother life after 50 in the Philippines. Man, the Philippines must be paradise, right? That must be the Passport Bro hub. No wonder why he has the Filipino and American flag pin on his hat underneath the words freedom. The dude's really free. Wow. Yeah, I guess the good news is even if you are older and things are not working out for you in America, you could go to the Philippines, start another life. Shit, you might even get another wife and start a whole new family. It's sad, right? Because I feel like, this is where we have an advantage. I don't think women have this advantage where they can just go to another country. One, and the men are not going to really be more desirable than American men because they're not going to have the kind of money. They're not going to speak the language. Culturally, it's not going to be the same. But men, we do have this. This is the one advantage that we have, right? We don't have the marriage advantage that women have in this country where, you get divorced for whatever reason you want, and the man owes you alimony. If you have kids, child support, you get half of his assets and stuff. Wow. That gives me hope, because God forbid I'm at his age with no kids. I could go to the Philippines, have a decent life, and might start a family in my 50s, right? It's not a bad deal. Wow, it's really refreshing to hear. I didn't expect that at all.
I never ever thought that would happen, but I was the same way with, as a lot of these guys, I felt the same way. It wasn't I had anything against women. I didn't. I just said, I'd been there, done that, had lots of girlfriends, been single, been married, and was just fine surviving. I had my little apartment over here, and I liked my little apartment, and, I could kind of do what I wanted, and I had my Cambly where I was teaching English online, and then I started my YouTube channel, and everything was fine. I didn't have a void. I didn't feel like I had this void in my life that I needed a relationship. And once I started dating, it was just, a few different women, and most of them didn't work out for various reasons. Nothing really wrong with them, just not the right person. And I was about ready to give up on the whole thing all over again, and just say, let's just go back to being single and it's fine, and I don't want to waste the money anyway. And then I met Jen, and the rest is history. But so it's just, kind of a video for you guys out there that are saying that, telling me that, I don't want to date anymore, I don't want a relationship, I don't need a relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you might want to think, like, what's your life going to be like? Say you make it to 85 or 90 years old, whether you stay in America, Australia, England, wherever you're from, or you come here, it doesn't matter. And you're totally alone. I mean, totally alone. And, you may need somebody to help you, take your medication, do your shopping, take care of your house, or you just may start, if you don't have the mobility where you can't go driving anymore, and so you're kind of stuck at home, it's nice to have somebody there to share your life with, you know, to watch TV with, to play cards with, to talk to, you know, whatever. And, you know, that's what a lot of guys find here. They have someone that's, you know, a bit younger than them, and it kind of fills, you know, a void that they didn't even know they had. So that's basically, you know, the story about that, and, you know, my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Got some great interviews coming up.
That's very interesting. Wow. Shout out to this dude, man. I think, you know, wow. The fact that he was able to just essentially get great fortune just moving across the world to the Philippines. And by the way, Filipino women are beautiful. And I like dark-skinned women, so, you know, there's dark-skinned Filipino women. And, damn. And they're traditional. They're not like Western women at all, unless they're from America or whatever. And so that seems like the solution. If you're older and things are not really working out in America, become a passport bro. Move to the Philippines, you know, settle in. This guy, he's the average guy, right? He didn't have that much money. He came to the Philippines for survival, so not like he's a baller, but his money was able to go further in the Philippines, and he's not in the greatest shape, right? But he found someone after going on several dates. This is really inspiring, man. I'm glad to hear that. It definitely seems like an opportunity or option for anyone who is not in the best place. And maybe Diddy should have went here, right? Maybe Diddy should have left America. I don't know if Philippines have extradition treaty with America, but in general, I'm just saying this might be the place to escape the madness in America. But what do you guys think about it? Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Channel's blowing up. Help us to get to 10,000 subs. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll talk to you guys soon.